I can almost hear your brain twirling and coming up with the question, what is in the box? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'll tell you why in a second. As you can see, it's fairly oddly shaped. That's because this is the template for the new starboard side fuel tank. We had such a difficult time trying to get the old tanks out, I thought it best to work up a template for a new tank to see how it fits going back in. It's not an option to cut it apart and then weld it up once it's back in place. It has to go in one piece. So I've had a cardboard mock-up made, and today I'm going to see if that's close to the dimensions of the old tank. The dimensions of this mock-up are actually pretty much identical, with the exception of the bottom of the tank. We've taken off about 6 inches of it. It used to come down to a fairly narrow point, but we took that much off so that we could get it up underneath the lip and hopefully turn it in. So that's one task I'm going to try and accomplish today. The other task I want to get a start on today is cleaning up. The port side tank is sitting right beside me here, all in pieces. I'm going to actually take that back to my welder and make another Franken tank out of it. And by Franken tank, I mean weld it back together, just so we kind of have an idea of the dimensions and shape. These two tanks are a little bit different. The one on the starboard side was divided to provide a fuel source for the diesel heater. The one on the starboard side has a baffle in it, but it's contiguous. It's just one big open tank. So I'm going to open up the cockpit hatch here, get down below, test the new tank, and start cleaning out some of the garbage and crap that came out from removing the old tanks. So another really exciting video. It's amazing what a little amount of time and a little bit of effort can make in keeping a workspace much more comfortable and much more pleasant to work in. I've vacuumed out the rust and the foam and the tank liners and all kinds of garbage. I've got a big bag full behind me here. But now I've got a space that's a whole lot more comfortable to work in. Still not perfect, but it's a workable space. I've still got some, I guess the ancient diesel congealed with dust or rust or whatever, and it's kind of coating some spots, and the shop vac won't take it off. But that's okay. I can use a cloth to do that when the time comes. But right now I'm going to tackle the expanding foam. Kind of hard to see with the sun shining down from up above, but if you crawl down beneath, you can have a much better view of the job at hand. So come on, let's go have a look. So this is the starboard side. This is the spot where the super rusty tank came out of, and you can see there's probably a good 2 inches worth of foam in there, and all up the top here. It's going to make things awkward putting new in, so I'm going to take this foam out, and I'm going to clean this up. This is raw fiberglass here, and I will paint it once it's ready for paint. On the port side, the situation is much the same. There's all kinds of expanding foam and growiness. If I had known that I was going to be taking the tanks out, I wouldn't have had to cut a hole in the bulkhead for the outflow for the bilge. That's what this hose here is for. It's the outlet for the bilge. And now I can actually get up there and get to it where I couldn't before. But that's okay. Lessons learned, changes made, and we'll move on to the next. So right now I'm going to break out the fine tool and work away at getting that foam out. That's going to be a fairly boring and mundane job, so I won't bother you with filming that. And maybe I'll take another shot once all that's out. It's Canada Day today, so I don't want to spend too much time down here on the boat. I want to go home and just relax. But jobs do need to get done. If we don't work away at them a little bit at a time, it'll never happen. This project is somewhat like eating an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So check back in about an hour or so. We'll see how we're doing. Well, it didn't take too long to get the foam out of the starboard side. I haven't done the port side yet. And the starboard side isn't perfect. It's not spiffy, but it'll give me enough clearance and room to test the cardboard fuel tank. I don't think the cardboard fuel tank is going to hold much fuel, but it'll give me an idea as to whether it'll fit or not. Let's have a go, shall we? So the cardboard tank almost fit, not quite. I'm not sure why it didn't. I've got a couple of ideas. There's an exhaust riser hose that kind of goes up on the inside of the bulwark there. There's a couple of wires that run in the way. I kind of moved them over the tank to be able to put the tank in there. And there are two steel bands that used to hold the old tank in place. I'm going to cut those out because I actually cut them to remove the old tanks. They're kind of useless and they're in the way. And I think that may be what's preventing the new tank from going in solid. But it looks good. It looks like it'll go up in there without too much problems. But that's a job for another day. I'm going to close up here, put stuff away, take my garbage off the boat, go home, enjoy the rest of Canada Day. Woo! So in the meantime, fair winds, so long seas, God bless.